I
Yeah.
stunk. I stunk.
Right.
Shoot one.
Yeah.
Excuse-
I was about to say, man, because loving this business, man. I know you had like a lot of moments. What was one of your favorite moments, like your first moments that you was like, oh shit, I'm wrestling this guy? Like you was kind of
Probably
like,
probably Harley Race.
what?
I wrestled Harley Race for the world title in Calgary and Edmonton and Regina.
Shout out to
Oh,
Mr. Harley Race too, because coming from where I'm from, I'm from Missouri. I'm from Kansas City,
oh
where he's
yeah.
from. You know what
Show
I
me
mean?
state.
Show
Yeah,
me state,
absolutely.
and the way he did for so many of us, like
Oh my
including
God.
me, like Richmond, like he said it his WLW in Richmond. I remember the first show I ever went to. It was him. I think it was the one where he had Butch Reed as the WLW fucking title, and
Yeah,
I was just like, I was shocked because this is the first time I ever seen Butch wrestle
yeah,
in
yeah.
in there, and I was just like, yo, this is crazy. And shout out to Mr. Harley Race. Like, what was one of your favorite memories of Harley Race? RP.
Well, he took me. He took me for an hour. We wrestled for an hour in Calgary, and it
Oh,
was an amazing experience to wrestle for an hour the first time. And I was just blown away how intense the whole match was, and how smooth it was. Harley made it smooth for me. And he guided
right.
me all the way through that match.
Would that have been during the Stampede days?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
like
Yeah.
1976, man. That's a long damn time ago.
yeah,
Damn.
right.
Right.
Um, how did you stand out during an era of wrestling that was heavily steroided?
Mm. I just did what I did, man.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't compete with those guys. I wasn't going to do that to myself. Not that I didn't use some steroids, because I did, but I used them for healing purposes, not to become a behemoth. But it was tough, man, because you have to get in the ring with these guys, and the best way to deal with them was to get in the ring and lean on them. Just put your weight against them. That way, they got to push you. I let them do whatever they wanted to do to me, but I laid on them. And after about 7 to 10 minutes, all of a sudden I look at them and they're blowing hard, man. They're out of gas. Now I can do any damn thing I want to them because they can't stop me now. And that's what I did, man. I could take them down on the mat and wipe boogers on their back and all sorts of stupid shit, man. But the first thing I had to do is let them run out of gas. I mean, that's the same thing I did with Randy Savage back in the day. Randy was so amped up, man. When he hit that ring, he was like a damn dynamite blowing up in your hands.
Wow.
He just went all over the place with you. So I just leaned on him a little bit. You don't have to push hard. Just put your hand on their shoulders and a hand on their waist and lean. Just lean. That's all.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what a wise man does.
Okay, Prince, shoot another one.
Right. Yeah, speaking of that, man, because I was watching the Young Rock the other night, man, and I seen memories of the Rock talking about stories about you and working with the Maivia family. And how dope was it, going to Hawaii, because you went to Hawaii and wrestled for them, right?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Or you did any type of matches over there?
No.
Or with any other organization? Okay.
No. Even when I went for Vince, I worked with our talent, not their talent.
Okay.
And I think the biggest thing I had going for me is I met Rock when he was 6 years old. And that was in Florida. And
Florida. Okay.
his father was there, and Rocky was there, and I rode around with Rocky. We made a lot of road trips together.
Right. Any good memories about, the Soul Man, Rocky Johnson?
Oh, just being crazy, man. You know what the road does to you. I don't want to go into that, man.
Yeah.
right. He looked like he was a character. This vibe.
He was, man. He was a fun guy, and he liked to do some pretty crazy stuff. And yeah, I fell right into it. I did it with him, and my God, if we'd been pulled over, we both went to jail.
Right.
So, have you seen that show?
Excuse me?
Have you seen the show?
Have you seen
called
the Young Rock
No,
show?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
There's definitely a character that they had of you in that show.
Yeah, in that show. Yeah, that's why I asked. Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed away from it. I don't want to get angry about nothing.
Right.
So WrestleMania 3, arguably one of the best matches ever against the Honky Tonk Man. And of course, you had Alice Cooper with you as well. What was going through your mind, if you can remember that, like going out there and WrestleMania?
It just blew me away. I mean, there's 93,000 people out there, man. And, you know, they put us on one of those scissor lifts that shot us up in the air. So we're going down the aisle, and all of a sudden, I feel somebody just scratching the hell out of my arm. And I look, and Alice Cooper is passing out, and he's scratching my arm trying to get my attention. So I grabbed him. I said, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And he said, "Too much, Rush. Too much. Too much." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about, man?" I can't. This is too much. This is too much. And you know, after the match, I talked to him about it. He said that, you know, it wasn't like he was on stage doing a concert, because when he's on stage doing a concert, he's got all his shit in his hand and he's the focus. But the people weren't focusing on him at this moment. You know, they were focusing on me, and he was just blown away by how intense it was for a period of time. You know, we got in the ring, and he was having a hard time breathing. You know, and growing up, I was an Alice Cooper fan. School's Out for Summer was a hit whenever I was in high school. So to get that opportunity, man, I was blown away.
Were you a little starstruck as well then?
Oh, yeah, I was starstruck. And I was kind of pissed off when I met him, because I wanted to do the fanboy shit, but he was fanboying my ass, you know? So it's like, let me do it. No, you're my hell, man. I love you, Jake. You're the great. I'm like, oh, come on, man. I want to talk to you. Let me talk to you, you know? And since then, we've seen each other 4 or 5 times. You know, I've went to a few concerts and, you know, and sit down and talk with him a little bit. He gave me some great advice in WrestleMania 3. And boy, I wished I could have listened to him, but I didn't. You know, he told me, he said, "Don't let the road kill you, man." He said, "The road's got you already." He said, "Step back, get away from it, man. Don't let him kill you." And I didn't realize how much truth there was to that. But it didn't take long for me to find out. But, you know, in another 5 years, I finally burned out.
Yeah.
I went over the edge. Simply because I didn't take the time to do what I needed to for me and my family. You know, all I was doing was wrestling. That was it. You know, to hell with the family, to hell with everything. And pretty soon, you know, it was wrestling and my drug, because I had to have that dope to keep me going.
Yep.
And the alcohol to bring me down. And it was a daily process. And man, it was tough doing that shit. It was really hard. And of course, whenever they brought in drug testing and stuff, that made it really hard. And of course, I flunked a couple, had to go to rehab and all that stuff, but I still wasn't ready to quit, you know, and I was addicted. And,
did they use it? You use a lot of weed back then?
Well, I did till they started busting us for it.
Yeah.
But weed stays in your system too long.
Yeah. Could you imagine it being illegal, being now that it's pretty much legal in most states in Canada?
I know, man. Yeah. I know. But they still don't want you doing it, you know? But that's their problem. I don't have that problem anymore. I'm not addicted to anything, man.
Yep.
Except love.
You've
Right.
done
I'll take as much of that as I can, man.
Right, which we love to give you love, man, because
Yeah, I appreciate
just
it.
the love that you give. I mean, you get so much love, you don't even know how much love you
No, I
get.
know I
Even
don't.
and it's crazy because like I even like in hip hop, like in music, like everybody got like a song or a line for you. Like the love of you, that's how much people love you. Like how much you think like when people like make a song about
No, it blows
having
me
your
away.
name in it, it's
It blows me
crazy.
away, man. It is, man.
And you hear about it.
It blows me out. I'll hear about it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Couldn't they come up with a better line than that? You know?
No, and you
No, and
you
I do
fit the hit.
appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, man. But I don't even know about it half the time. You know?
Right.
I mean, it's
You
like
still
people still bring me stuff that I've never even seen before and want me to sign this stuff. You know?
All right.
Right.